Alright guys, hello. We're trying something new today. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to give a Corona devotional as we discussed last week. So the thing that I want you guys to think about is I think a lot of us are feeling anxious, and we're feeling upset, and we're feeling like we're missing out because the virus has taken a lot from us. For some of us, it's taken away our sports that we like to play. It's taken away our friendships. It's taken away these special moments. Maybe it's a birthday, or it's just your senior year, and it's the time with your friends that you were going to spend together. I think a very real possibility, and I'm not saying this is a thing, but a very real possibility is that it could take away summer camp this year. It's taken away our freedom, the freedom to get away from the people we live with, the freedom to go and watch a movie or do whatever we want to do. So it's taken a lot from us. Not to mention, some of us, it's going to take away loved ones, and it's going to take away health. But the real thing that this virus has taken away from us is the illusion that we ever had control of our lives in the first place. I'm reminded of Corinthians, that's something else. Colossians 1, verses 16 and 17 say, "For by him," and in this case, him means Jesus, "for by him all things were created in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together." So when we think about us losing control, think about how God and Jesus, they have control over everything in this world. I like the part where it says that in him all things are held together. It reminds me of building a sand castle. I don't know if you've ever built a sand castle on the beach, but there are 3 types of sand, and only one of them you can build a very good sand castle with, right? There's the dry sand. It's trash. You don't use it. There's the really, really wet sand. You can't use that either. It's just, it runs through your fingers like water. And then there's like this kind of wet, kind of dry sand. Well, when I think of like God holding all things together, I think of trying to build a sand castle with like the really, really dry sand, right? You can pack it up in the bucket and you can slam it down. You can wiggle it around. But you pick that bucket up and the dry sand, it just falls. Or likewise, you get the really wet sand and you might like ball it up, like slam it down. You're like, okay, this is gonna hold, and you just press tightly and you just hold and you wait. But as soon as you let go, that sand just kind of, ugh. That's the image that I get when I read that God holds all things together. I have this image of him just sustaining everything, just keeping it in place. And so when we feel like we're out of control and that everything is taken from us, know that God is literally holding everything in place. You see, in the beginning, in the perfect world, there was no coronavirus. There was no any sort of virus because there was no sin. When we sinned, that was the first virus. And it's infected everyone. And you say, well, what is sin? Just give me a basic definition. It's when you do things you're not supposed to do. And you know what those things are. It's lying, cheating, stealing. You don't need a Bible or a set of rules to know when you've done something wrong. You feel it in your conscience. You feel it in your heart. And when we do those things, we feel it because we feel that we've sinned against God. That's the original virus, and that virus kills 100% of the people that get it. Sin will kill us all. And you might say, well, my hope is in doing enough good, and if I do enough good, then I'll get to heaven. But we can never do enough good to get on the right side of God. He's perfect. What can we do to impress him? The only thing that we can do is accept that Jesus paid the price for our sin. That's the cure for every disease that we have. Because if coronavirus doesn't kill us, something else will. The only hope we have in this life is Jesus dying for us, asking for forgiveness for our sins, and realizing that God holds this world together. He holds all of creation in place. So we don't need to worry or fret. The things that we're losing control of, God is absolutely in control of. The last thing I want to leave you is just some helpful tips. Look for the good in these situations. You might not think that there is any good, but for those of you who are seniors, you're about to move out and maybe for the last time live with your parents. Look for the good in cherishing this time together. Look for the freedom that you have, how exciting it is. Yeah, you don't get to see your friends, but look for the good in being able to go to school from home and stay in your pajamas all day. I want y'all to look for the good in being able to get ahead. A lot of your classmates are going to just, sleep in and watch Netflix. Use this as an opportunity to get a head start. Maybe it's learning a hobby, picking up the guitar. Maybe it's just studying harder. But look for the good in all of these situations. All right. I hope you enjoyed this little devotional. Hopefully this isn't a complete bust. But now you can hop on over to the Zoom call and we can have a discussion about everything we've just learned. All right. See you there.